Hi guys, this is Hiro. How's everyone doing today? So today I'm going over Venus's forward transit in the sign of Cancer after its retrograde. Okay, so it starts this forward transit in Ashlesha Nakshatra, which for those of you guys who know, it's towards the end of Cancer. Okay, but this transit is still 4 weeks long, almost a month long. Okay, it lasts from September 4th to October 2nd. So the reason why it's so slow is because it just finished its retrograde. So Venus doesn't go retrograde that often. But the catch 22 here is that when it does go retrograde, before and after it's slow for a little while. Okay, so especially right after, it's very important to take notice, especially because it kind of was going forward slow in Cancer, went back, and then now it's going forward again. Okay, so Venus is in Cancer, which is moon sign. Now, moon sign Cancer is all about nurturing and comforting and things like that. So when Venus was originally going forward, from May 31st to July 7th around, as far as relations and things like that, you could have felt like you were doing a little bit more for other people, okay? Then when it was going backwards just now, you could have felt like there was a certain side of you that really had to do something for other people, okay? So that's kind of wrapping up now. It's slowing down, going retrograde, going back. It's kind of getting ready to go back forward. Now, when Venus goes back forward in Cancer, and keep in mind, it's slow, very, very slow. And it's in Ashlesha Nakshatra, okay, which is it's a very powerful end of Cancer Nakshatra. So it's going slow at the end of Cancer. So what this means is, okay, we already figured out when it was going forward in Cancer the first time, kind of things we wanted to do, right? It's related to Cancer. Then when I went retrograde, it was like, okay, things we had to do related to Cancer, okay? Now that we've kind of done them both, this very slow progressive motion of Venus forward, it's kind of giving us an opportunity to say, look, this is what we want to do in regards to this area of life in this energy. And this is kind of really the things we have to do, or karmic things, okay? The karmic things could have been a little bit intense, a little bit frustrating, a little bit caught us out of the blue, etc. And the things we want to do, yeah, we want to do these things, but they're not necessarily karmic enough, you could say, okay? If you notice, Upachya houses 3, 6, 10, and 11, 3 and 6, if you convert them to sign numbers, 3 and 6 are Mercury, and 10 and 11 are Saturn, okay? And you can watch my Upachya video for more information on this, but the reason why they're Upachyas is mainly because they're earth and air signs, okay? The only other two earth and air signs that are not Upachyas are both of Venus's signs, which is Taurus and Libra, right? And the reason why Venus's, I guess, how sign numbers or how signs converted to house numbers are not Upachyas is because Venus doesn't really represent karmic things. It's not, yeah, there's a lot of free will in regard to Venus, but it's not free will that you have to do, okay? So the point here is Venus, you got exposed to, hey, how do you want to utilize this energy of Venus in Cancer, and how you have to utilize this energy in Cancer. And keep in mind, Venus is not a very karmic planet, which is also why it doesn't go backwards that often, okay? So it's like, okay, look, we, in this energy of Cancer, we know what we want to do, and we got a rare blessing and opportunity to see what we have to do. Now let's combine the both. We know that it's a little bit hard to maintain this karmic energies of Venus, right? Because it's very taxing on us as human beings. But we don't necessarily have to do quite the same thing again as we did when Venus first went through Cancer progressive, right? We can kind of, and this is the third time it's kind of going through Cancer, either forward or backward, or at least in Ashlesha, right? So we can say, hey, we got exposure to both of these things. Let's kind of use our awareness, use our better judgment. Let's keep our mind as elevated as possible, right? Because Cancer is ruled by Moon. So let's keep our mind elevated as possible so that we can use the energy in both best ways possible, in ways that we want to, and ways that are also helpful to fulfill karma, okay? Especially because Ketu is in Libra, which is Venus's main sign. in its main sign of relations and things like that. Okay, but Venus is slowly going to speed up more and more, especially throughout this transit, and especially as Venus approaches the end of Cancer in the Gandanta point. So it's important to kind of keep both things in mind and just use your awareness, your intuition, your better judgment in determining, okay, these are the things that we should be doing. It's a combination of things that we want to do because we know how Venus is, and let's not try to change that, but we also know kind of what spiritually is best for us, which is sometimes a little bit hard, but we know. So let's try to see if there's things that can kind of overlap in both of these departments, and if not, we can kind of try to have a balance of both of them throughout this month. Okay, and this is a very good time to utilize the strategy, and a very rare opportunity. It only comes once every year and a half, when right after Venus goes retrograde, you kind of can use the stationary as well as the retrograde energies for a certain degree portion, and from what you learn through that, and utilize it in a much more grounded way now that it's going through that period again, progressive for the last time. Okay, so yeah, that's it for this video, short video. But if you have any questions or comments, you can feel free to let me know. And until next time, I'll talk to everyone later. Thank you all very, very much for watching.